And just like with time, we're going to be moving on to COVID-19 because the years of research led to a speedy COVID-19 shot creation. The Nobel Prize in Medicine was awarded to two scientists whose work led to the mRNA vaccines against COVID-19. The Associated Press took a look at how the vaccines were created so fast. Dr. Anthony Fauci, the top U.S. infectious disease expert, explained, quote, "The speed is a reflection of years of work that went before. That's what the public has to understand. Vaccine creation and having results from many studies less than a year after the world discovered the pandemic cut years off normal development. Both shots that are made by Pfizer and BioNTech, the other by Moderna and National Institutes of Health, are so-called messengers RNA, which is a brand new technology. Long before COVID was on the radar, the groundwork was laid in large part by two different streams of research. The mRNA creation approach started with a snippet of genetic code that carries instructions for making proteins. 15 years ago, Weissman's lab was trying to harness mRNA to a variety of drugs and vaccines. Additionally, other researchers added a fat-coating calling lipid nanoparticles that helped stiff RNA easily get inside cells and start production of the target protein. So shout out to the Nobel Prize winners for getting awarded this award in medicine because, COVID-19, just not even into COVID-19, but just vaccines in general are so beneficial for us humans, especially when we're going through, the fall. This is when lots of germs, germs like to spread like any time of the year, but fall I think is a very popular time. It's back to school, it's change of weather. Literally, like last week it was 60 degrees and now it's like 80 degrees today. Like, what is happening? What is that? What is this climate change that is going on? But going into, the COVID-19 shots, they've been working, COVID-19, what? It's been around since 2020. What is that, 3 years now? I think it's really crazy that, they were able to create these vaccines in such a short amount of time, especially every time a new variant comes out of this virus. I feel like a new vaccine comes out and like 3 weeks later, bam, new vaccine. Like, the fact that scientists are able to create this and do all of the research in such a weeks amount of time is really beneficial for us humans who, especially those with underlying issues who need the vaccine. I think it really helps them. And I feel like, vaccines are very interesting because, some people, like, there was lots of controversy over it, when the pandemic first started. Some people didn't trust it. Some people felt like they were forced to have it. Some people loved it. Some people did all the vaccines, did as many as they could. And I think it really comes down to you personally and what you choose to do. But the fact that scientists are able to create this research really helps us and helps our economy grow and just helps this health, like the health of our economy, our society, and who we are. You know what I mean?
Oh, there's a certain thing that just been the biggest thing of the summer happened. It's called the Eras Tour.
It was the biggest thing of the summer.
It really was. So
that and Barbenheimer.
Like those are the saving graces of the summer, I would say, in entertainment.
Yes.
And because everything's going on in the movies, Taylor Swift has a deal to play with AMC to play a concert film based on her Eras Tour opening on October 13th. It will also be followed by Beyonce's plan to do the same exact thing with her Renaissance World Tour that is expected to hit theaters in December. For theaters, these two tour films have been a gift to the musical gods as a way to help save movie theaters, especially for theater owners who are apparently tired of waiting for Hollywood to mount a rescue mission. As we said before, Barbie Oppenheimer, as well as The Flash, Mission Impossible, and more, all throughout the summer, there were hits, but they weren't enough to make enough money from the box office. So this is kind of the box office plan to try to boost some things up. These movie theaters for concert movies and other events is not a new trend, but it does reflect a potential transition that represents an experience that people wanted to share in person. Additionally, Beyonce's previous film includes the acclaimed 2019 Netflix film Homecoming, which captured her Coachella performance in 2018. This film marks Beyonce's tour on behalf of the 2022 Grammy-winning album Renaissance. This film's description says, quote, "It is about Beyonce's intention, hard work, involvement in every aspect of her production, her creative mind, and purpose to create a legacy, and her master craft."
Yeah, so I think it's so beneficial that both of these artists are making this, especially Taylor Swift, because the Eras Tour, so many
Oh my
people,
God, that was
including myself,
something.
were not able to see it. So the fact that she's like actually doing this is gonna be helping the movie theaters so extremely, because they don't have lots of things to put out anymore because of the strikes. And now that they're good, like, this is good, they're like, it's definitely, I'm gonna predict it, like, this is a theory, but it's gonna blow the box offices.
It really, and you gotta think. I was looking at a few things.
Even Beyonce, like,
Beyonce,
even that's gonna go big too,
Here's the thing.
because there's so many Beyonce fans that want to see her tour, and
Here's the
who
thing.
can't, even ones that do see her tour probably want to go see it anyway too. And it is time to get into some weird news. So starting off with giant pumpkins coming this Halloween.
We're walking here.
I guess so. This summer might have been very rainy and a bit of a washout. However, pumpkins are thriving because of it. This upcoming Halloween, we can expect the main varieties of pumpkins to be larger than normal. According to Steve Whitworth from Oakley Farms, quote, "We had a pretty good growing season for pumpkins this summer with a really hot June, which really helped the plants along. The rainy July and August may not have been great for some lovers or barbecue fans, but from a growing point of view for pumpkins, it was perfect." He adds, quote, "The weather gave us the right amount of rain with sunny intervals, especially compared with the challenging conditions we encountered during last year's heat wave, which was officially the hottest UK year on record." So, like how we talked about before with climate change, I guess it helped pumpkins grow?
Look, now here's the thing. Like, this is the prime example of paying it forward. Like, it might stink now for in the short term. It might be the worst experience ever in the short term experience. It wasn't it was a rainy, really, really wet summer.
It was a wet summer. It was just a wet, hot summer.
Like,
it wasn't.
In the short term, it stunk. But as you get later down the year, you see the roots of the labor. You see why it's worth it in the end, because look at the size of these pumpkins.
Exactly. Because,
well, for the guy.
Well, yeah, for like pumpkin, it's now we're getting right into the fall season. We're getting into it's October 3rd. It's spooky season, and people.
Red Hawktober is here, kids. Red Hawktober is here.
What?
Red Hawktober.
Oh, what's that mean?
We're Red Hawks. It's October.
Oh,
Red Hawktober.
Oh, I love that. I never heard of that.
I thought you were talking about the Phillies. Red October.
Sit down somewhere.
Yeah, I thought it was some sports reference.
No.
I was like, what?
It's Red Hawktober.
I love that, Cam. I love that little creation of Halloween featuring Montclair State University Red Hawks.
It's WMSC-tober.
Oh, there we go.
Red Hawktober sounds good.
Yeah, listeners, stay tuned for Hollow Week, which will be starting October 25th. If you're interested, we will be discussing lots of fun Halloween-themed news and all of that. So stay tuned.
But until then, we have some other things to discuss.
But thank you all for tuning in to 90.3 WMSC Upper Montclair. We hope you have a great rest of your morning, and tune in tomorrow for some more morning buzz that you can listen to. Same time, same place with the Wednesday crew. So stay tuned.